Hello everyone. So today we are going to be talking about how to win championships and races in Star Stable. It's actually not as hard as you might think. However, all of the rumors out there about certain horses mattering for your race, it's completely false. Um, you can run any race and win with any horse, unless it's specifically the pony competition, then you have to use a pony, obviously. But um, literally any race in the game, um, your horse does not matter. The key to winning races is, honestly, to put it as simply as possible, all it comes down to is the skill of the player. And what is also a giant factor is actually the speed of your computer. It really sucks to say, but it's true. A lot of your racing capabilities comes down to how fast your computer can actually run and how good your internet is. Um, I've played this game since 2015. I've been doing these champs for a very long time, and I used to run this game on a very, very, very bad computer. And we live out in the middle of nowhere, so our access to good Wi Fi was very limited for a very long time. So I lost a lot of races that I knew like the back of my hand simply because people just had devices that ran better than mine. So, however, now that I have a decent computer, um, I can pull in first pretty regularly. In this video, I'm going to prove to you that the horse that you are using does not matter at all. Um, the other factors that we'll talk about that you need to pay attention to is the jump of your horse. You need to know when to jump, especially for those larger jumps, and you need to know the width of your horse's sides. Some horses are a little thinner than others, so that could come into play during certain races. You need to know how close you can get to an obstacle without running into it, so you can cut those corners really close. And that's really all it comes down to. Let's get into it. Alright, so here we're going to measure the height in which a horse can jump. So we're going to go over these large barricades here, just like so. And the thing you want to measure, I recommend jumping over these because these are the highest jumps in the game that you can feasibly go over. You can practice them as much as possible. I want you to practice jumping over these barricades and cutting close to objects so you can learn your horse's hitbox. These barricades are found in Epina as well as Forgotten Fields if you don't have Epina. I go over these just to practice. See, there you go, there's some good jumps. Just practice when your timing for your jump is. Any horse in the game can go over these, including ponies. So let's practice a few faulty jumps. There we go. So you can see, I just want you to look and see when you should not jump. Like here, we're going to do a few too soon. There's too soon. There we go. So you can't get over it if you do even slightly too soon. And now we'll do slightly too late. There we go, see? Failed that one. And let's wrap around again here. And here we go. And there we go. So these jumps are perfect to practice because you need to get the timing perfect. If you mess up even slightly, then you won't get over it. If you can get over these, then you can do any champ in this game, and you'll do just fine. Another thing you need to learn is your horse's hitbox, which is how close you can scrape next to objects without smacking into them and losing your speed. So what I would do is find an area that has these really high jumps and just go over them just to see how high your horse can jump or what your timing needs to be, and cut close to objects so you can learn how tight your horse can turn and what you can and can't hit. Now we're going to break the stereotype that draft horses are terrible racehorses. They are not. They can also go over these jumps just fine. The difference with draft horses and these larger horses versus a smaller horse such as the saddlebred or even your Dutch or whatever is their hitbox is slightly different. It's harder to land their jumps and they are slightly wider, so you do need to pay attention to their hitbox there. But going over those jumps, you can still cut things pretty tight. It's very hard to miss jumps with them. Unless you jump too soon. If you jump too soon, you will miss it. However, jumping too late is almost impossible with them. See, there we go. That was too late. And I had to really try to jump too late on that one. That one took effort. Here we go. We'll go again. See, there we go. That was too early. And let's wrap around. Alright, and we'll look at it straight from behind there. Yep, see? So it is kind of hard to measure because of how long the horse is, but it's not impossible. It's something you need to practice. You definitely need to practice more on these drafty horses than you do the other ones. And there we go. And again, they function basically exactly the same as any other horse. And now we're going to do the exact same thing with a Shire horse. I believe Shires are the horses that people discriminate against the most for races. This one hasn't been fed in a while, so bear with me here. But as you can see, it can get over all of these jumps exactly the same as these other horses. No horse has a different speed than one another. Every single horse has the exact same stats. For the stats that matter, which honestly, speed and agility are the only two stats that genuinely matter. All the others are kind of just there. Honestly, I don't really know what they do. The strength multiplier does not change the height of the jump. Every single horse can jump the same, as I've proved so far. Shires, it's easier to mess up the jump with them, as I'm showing you here. However, to say that they are harder to ride is also not true. They do have a learning curve, but just like that, they can get over these jumps just fine, and it's just something you need to practice. It's a measurement that you need to learn. My high score race for Marley's Farm, 4th place right there. I set a record. That record was set on a Shire. So to say that these records can't be made on Shires is inaccurate. And now lastly, we are going to prove these stereotypes wrong on a pony. Yep, you saw that right. Ponies can jump over the same jumps that a Shire can jump over, meaning all of the people who refuse to use ponies for the competitions other than the Pony Champ, there's no reason, honestly. You can use a pony and win all the same races that your horse can win, just like that. Again, it's just measuring the distance for the jump. For ponies, you need to get a lot closer than you do for the other horses, simply because of their size. However, there's nothing in this game that these ponies cannot tackle. You could just sit on a pony all day and participate in every single champ and win every single champ. No reason to discriminate against ponies either. There is no one racehorse that is better than the other. So, yeah. Now, everyone, I'm going to prove all of the stereotypes wrong, and we are going to win the Moorland Champ with a Shire. Watch me go. Yep, you saw that right. That was a very clean win on a Shire horse. Now, I will admit, I know this champ very well, and I know all the champs very well, so I'm a rather skilled player, but I feel like that's the best way to measure the champs. If you are measuring the viability of a horse, you don't want to do that with a player who has no idea what they're talking about. You want the most clean data as possible. And as someone who knows what they're doing, and I can show you several of my victories, the horse just doesn't matter. However, there is one more thing I would like to discuss, and that is risk assessment. In a lot of the champs, there are shortcuts. And a lot of the players will pride themselves on taking these shortcuts. However, a lot of them just don't save you much time. One that I can think of off the top of my head is the one in the Jarlaheim champ, where you can jump over the staircase in order to save a little bit of time. However, I don't think this actually helps you. I do skip a lot of shortcuts in certain races if I know that it will not fix my time. Remember, you want to do the champ as accurately as possible, and if you fail in any of your shortcuts, that pushes you back way further than if you had just taken the normal route. So during every single champ, even though there is a shortcut available, I would truly sit there and think if you think that it's really one that you need to take.